Alright, in this video we're going to talk about how to graph dilations. So dilation of a geometric figure is a transformation that changes the size of the figure by a certain scale factor to create a similar figure. So basically we're taking the same shape and we're just changing its size. We're either going to enlarge it or we're going to shrink it. So the rule for dilation, first we need to write all the coordinates of the pre-image. So that's the image or the shape that you see there, called the pre-image. We multiply all the coordinates by the given scale factor, and then we write the coordinates of the image, so that's the new shape, and then we graph the image. So example number 1, we're going to dilate this triangle by a scale factor of 2. So the first step is we have to write all these coordinates. Alright, so if I look at A is at the point -2, 3. Okay, B is at the point 2, -1. And then C is at the point -2, -1. And then in order to graph the image, we actually have to write the coordinates of the image first. It makes our lives a little bit easier. So my scale factor is 2 here. Okay, so I'm going to multiply every single number times 2. So -2 times 2 is -4. 3 times 2 is 6. Letter B, again, we're going to multiply everything by 2. 2 times 2 is 4. And -1 times 2 is -2. Letter C, I have -2, 1. We're going to multiply both of those coordinates by 2. -2 times 2 is -4. And -1 times 2 is -2. Right, and I'm going to plot these ordered pairs on my grid here. So I'm going to go to -4, 6, which is all the way up here at the top, and I'm going to label that as A prime. Okay. B prime is at 4, -2, so I'm going over to 4, and then I'm going down to -2. That's going to be B prime. And C prime is at -4, -2, so that's going to be right here, C prime. And we're going to connect all of these things together, and I now have the graph of the image. So notice the two triangles are really the same shape, but the pre-image is smaller and the image is larger. In example number 2, I have a semicircle, which means that's a half of a circle. Okay, and I have a scale factor of 1/2. So first step, we're going to go through and we're going to write the coordinates of the semicircle D, A, and B. So D is at the point -5, 0. A is at the point 3, 0. So remember, if I go over and then don't go up any, that's the point on the x-axis. I have a x-coordinate and my y-coordinate is 0. And B is at the point -1, 4. All right, and then I'm going to multiply each one of these things by a half. Each one of those ordered pairs is going to be multiplied by a half. So I have to think of half of -5. Half of -5 would be -2.5. Half of 3 would be 1.5. Half of 0, of course, is just 0, so that y-coordinate is not going to change. Half of -1 would be -0.5. And half of 4 would be 2. So then I can plot these points here. So -2.5. I need to go right in between -2 and -3 for -2.5. And that's going to be my D prime. My A prime is at 1.5, 0. So 1.5 is right between 1 and 2. So that's 1.5 right here. And then -0.5, 0. So -0.5, or sorry, -0.5, 2. -0.5 is between -1 and 0. And then I'm going to go up to 2. And then I would connect my points together to make my semicircle. So notice here, this time our dilation actually got smaller. And it's because our scale factor here was less than 1. Okay. To identify the scale factor, we divide the image size by the pre-image size. So we divide the image size, which is the solid, or the scale size, the image size, so my new shape. You might want to fill that in divide the new shape size by the pre-image, which would be the old shape size. Okay, so for example, to look for my scale factor here, I would divide my new shape length of this rectangle, or width of this rectangle 1, and that would be divided by 4. So my scale factor would be 1/4. Okay, or if I did the other way around, right, I could use my length, 3/12. 3/12, and that would simplify down to 1/4. So either way, my scale factor for that first question is 1/4. Okay, here we have 2 mugs. The mom mug is scaled up to the dad mug. So we're going to take the new shape, which is the 6, or the new coffee mug, be 6 inches, and then the older coffee mug would be 4 inches, 6/4. And that would simplify to 3/2. So our scale factor for this one would be 3/2.